This is question axonometric projection of a goalpost, year 2013 question, section B, question 2. So starting off with a vertical line, which would be my y-axis, going down 110 degrees to that. That will give me my z-axis. And I'm just going to set up my adjustable set square to that angle. I'll set that up later. Just go to 110 degrees. And that is my z-axis. Okay, x-axis is z-axis. Now, because it's 110 degrees in both directions, that means that the triangle ABC is going to be isosceles. So I'm just going to draw a construction line and measure out 35 either side. Okay, because if it's 70 millimeters from A to B, that means if I split the difference, it's 35 to the left, 35 to the right. Take construction lines down. And that gives me point A on my triangle and point B on my triangle. Okay, next I want to find point C. And point C is always going to be perpendicular. So if I want to draw a line from B up to C, this angle here that I'm sketching or going over with my pencil, it's always going to be perpendicular to the x-axis. Likewise, if I was going from A to C, this angle will be perpendicular to my z-axis. So if you set up your set squares at that angle, set them up to draw a 90-degree angle there. So this line here that I'm drawing now is perpendicular to the z-axis. That gives me point C that I'm looking for. And likewise, you don't have to do this, but if you were to set up your set square in line with the x-axis and draw a line from B, that line, if you were to continue it up, would also give me the position of point C. Okay, so that's part A of the question complete, if you need to. Okay, so for elevation, which is going to project out to the left side, I'm going to go parallel to the z-axis, and I'm going to project out point C and point A. Now, perpendicular to that angle, just slide this down a little further, perpendicular is the line AC. So if I go parallel to the line AC out as far as I wish, so I'm just going to go out as far as I like there, I'm going to draw a line here parallel to the line AC. So that line there is parallel to AC. What I want to do now is draw the semicircle. So in order to get a semicircle from between those 2 points, I want to find the center of that line. So I'm going to bisect that line. There's your semicircle. So now I'm just going to extend out my z-axis to intersect the circumference of that semicircle. And this now gives me a right angle triangle, which is the angles that I will use to draw the elevation. Okay, so this right angle triangle here, so here, they're the angles that I will orientate the elevation at. Now the question tells me that the goalpost has an overall length of 85 mm. So I'm measuring 85 across there. And height-wise, we don't know just yet. So I can't measure in a height yet. All I can do is measure or harden across the ground line of that goalpost. I don't have a height for this just yet. So done as much as I can. That's as far as I can go for now. So now I'm just going to go over here, and I will probably be able to locate the height in my end elevation. So repeating the exact same procedure. Extend out my x-axis. Point B, point C. I'm going to draw a construction line parallel CB out here. I'm going to bisect this line. There's the right angle set up now, which is going to give me the orientation of the view. It's exactly the same process as before. Measuring 40mm width. Hardening that in. With the width, I'm now going to project up parallel to this line here. Alright, so in order to work out the height of the elevation, if I go parallel to this angle of the orientation, bring out a construction line from this 40mm dimension. Where it intersects this line here, you can see from your handout or the question paper that this is one line of your quarter circle, or arc, radius 40 arc. So we know the distance I'm taking on my compass now is 40mm. So if I strike an arc up there, that allows me, not the total height, but we're told that there is a 10mm flat, a 1 meter or 10mm flat across the top there. So what I'm going to do here is measure out 10mm there. I'm just going to bring up a parallel construction line. So parallel to this line here, measuring up my 10mm. And that's the point I'm looking for. So now if I go parallel to this bottom line, there is the 10mm flat where it intersects the curve. There is the height of the goalposts. And now you can harden in this line and the curve itself. Okay. So now that you have the height of the goalposts, you can record the height of the goalpost because that's not going to change for, in elevation, and just apply that same height across in this view.